judgment surrounding me. I sit and ponder, question and wonder who from my past has been haunting me. Try to open my eyes, but I keep seeing two of me. Type and delete all my feelings, I'm ready. It's 5 in the morning and
Alright, it's time for another video. This one's gonna be a quickie, because, well, the season's about to get underway. And it looks like an interesting season, all things considered, even if Sir Lewis Hamilton is not going to be the feature that we wanted him to be. Because, well, there's a battle for the third championship that, well, is teasing itself right now. Could either try to speak it into existence or try not to put voodoo on it, one way or the other, who knows. But a very interesting championship fight is presenting itself before us, and that is Fernando Alonso versus Max Verstappen. Now, I've just done this unsporting review, right? I've just dropped this unsporting review video. Alonso will be making very different noises on the radio and will produce very different optics on circuit to whatever Sir Lewis Hamilton produced when racing Maximilian Verstappen. Oh, that is assuming that the tracing Martin is real. I'll get to testing and why I ignore testing in a bit. But yeah, it looks like we have a Maximilian Verstappen versus Fernando Alonso championship fight on our hands. Maximilian Verstappen is never going to get away with running Fernando Alonso the same way he was running Sir Lewis Hamilton. You're never going to get away with that. Never in your wildest dreams. Alonso, heck, he might even get a rule changed if he's loud enough on the radio. But we'll just have to see what happens there. Maximilian is a few years wiser, and 2 faux championships. I don't know, is he still under pressure to get a championship? Surely he's treating it as real, the way he's carrying himself, but who knows? Who knows what's going on in this kid's head? Anyway, this is going to be a quick video. I feel the need to address whatever is so going on at Mercedes. So what is going on at Mercedes? Are they sabotaging Sir Lewis Hamilton or what have you? No, I do not believe they are sabotaging Sir Lewis Hamilton. I just believe that they are being smarter than they are. They want to be the smartest people in the room, but, well, it's like Pep and managing Manchester City in the Champions League, or managing any team in the Champions League that doesn't have a Lionel Messi, right? You overthink it. Well, at least Pep overthinks it. And Mercedes, they're the Pep of the F1 constructors, and, well, they're overthinking their design, and they're trying to be too clever for their own good, and, well, it's gonna bite them. Right? I'm just a layman. I was never convinced by this zero pod concept as soon as the car was producing its porpoising optics out on. So I was just not convinced by it. Obviously, there's something fundamentally different in the car that is just not affecting all the other cars. And I seen some Drive to Survive clip of Toto making a whole spiel for the cameras about porpoising. And you know, you just hate to see it, but Horner, spicy kitten Horner, he jumps in saying, well, redesign your car because you're the only ones actually having a major issue with this thing, so redesign your car. And, well, he's right. And Christian Horner, he's not some genius. He's not an engineer. He's not an aerodynamicist. He has access to knowledge, but all the same, he's a fucking layman like me. Has he raced cars before? Sure. I've raced some cars. Nothing too expensive. But if he can see it, then I can see it. We're both fucking laymen. Toto, he's a layman as well. He's not an engineer or an aerodynamicist or anything. What are they telling him there at Mercedes HQ? What are they showing? What are they showing them at Mercedes HQ? What are they showing Sir Lewis Hamilton? What are they showing Toto? What are they showing Gorgeous Russell? Come look at the data that we have on this. Well, the data's all good, but clearly, clearly the engineering is not at the level to actually execute. And no one on the grid is even trying that shit. Williams were gonna have the biggest budget, or one of the biggest budgets. But Williams, they dropped that shit. They said, nah, this is far too esoteric for us. We're not even gonna bother with this. And they dropped it at Spain. Mercedes kept it, and they said, okay, they assumed that they're gonna solve the porpoising, and that's gonna unlock the car. You now have to prove that the concept can actually be developed. And it was going to swing one way or the other with these exotic concepts that Mercedes and Ferrari came out with. Like I said, it was going to swing one way or the other. Either they would have a higher development ceiling than the by-the-book concepts, or they would have smaller ceilings. It looks like they might have smaller ceilings on first take of the season. It's barely begun. But on first take of the season, it's looking like, these exotica concepts, they're just not really gonna last. But we'll see also remains to be seen what exactly Ferrari produce. I'm recording this on Friday. We still have to see FP3 and qualifying. But I mean, we've gotten enough film on the cars by now to gauge some sort of idea of where people may or may not be. And while Mercedes are in no man's land, and Tracing Martin, I can't call him Tracing Martin now. I can't call Tracing Martin now. Well, Aston Martin, congrats on graduating. They've gone with the more traditional concept in regards to how to design your car, and the side parts seem to be more pivotal to each car's design than was initially thought. But anyway, they're always pivotal, but you never know just how pivotal they'll be. But Aston Martin, they traced up the best car, and they've now developed it in their own direction, and we'll just have to see where that goes. I mean, Merc and Ferrari are about to be in hot water, but anyway, gonna close this video with why I ignore testing. Right. I mean, testing is nice just to see the cars in action, I suppose, or whatever actions they're put through in testing. But generally, I ignore testing times because, it's testing. What's actually happening with testing? The teams want to get mileage on the cars. They want to make sure that all the numbers that they got from the miniatures and their computer models are scalable to circuit, and that's more important than getting a fast lap time. A fast lap time in testing will generally just come about, more often by accident than not, because the driver will just drive and the car is so good, what the fuck. This is generally how it goes for every team. It only gets reported for Ferrari when that happens for whatever reason. But anyway, the only thing that's really valuable to take from testing is how much mileage each team completes. But even that is becoming questionable in recent history. It's still reliable generally for the Constructors' Championship, but for the winner of the Constructors' Championship, I should say, testing is just testing. Now the season's about to start. Not even the free practice times really matter, right? The only time that it really starts mattering, when the rubber meets the road, is come qualifying. And then we'll really see where everyone is, on one lap pace. I suppose testing is recontextualized nowadays because it's happening at Bahrain, and then the first race of the season is at Bahrain, so it is contextualized a little bit differently by that. Likewise, the whole complexion of the season thereafter. It was a different thing when testing was happening at Jerez and Catalonia. The opening round of the calendar was Melbourne. That was a different thing, because then you get a niche circuit, and whether you then go to a traditional circuit thereafter or another street circuit or what have you, the cards are still sort of up in the air, at least until Spain. Although Spain has been moved forward this season, so we'll see what happens. It's probably been moved forward in order to accommodate a second test that happens there, because it's absurd to me that the teams are starting the season with only one weekend's worth of testing. But anyway, that should be the vid. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there. Hey. Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop, cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! See, you really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. Go! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come, a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win, and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death, and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap, and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I bang in the east, and I banging in the west, and I kinda give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, or you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we gotta go, not try to keep up with the pace, and we struggling and hustling to set it and to get it, and we always gotta do it, take it to another place, gotta take